income machine. We're going to talk a little bit about a few new positions I started taking for the income machine. I know it's been a little while since I've done one, and I thought it was time to do one again. Now, I'm also going to start with a real quick talk about Bitcoin. And before we get going, I'd like to bring attention to this small channel trying to grow that I have been acquainted with. So far, they've got 2 videos out right now about different fiscal histories, usually about fiscal catastrophes that happened throughout time. They've been very entertaining and interesting to watch if you want a break from the doldrums, a break from the, bad news headlines all the time, and just listen to something fun, some fun historical financial histories. That will be Capital Curiosities. Anyways, let's get into it. Bitcoin, we're going to look at that, and then we're going to look at some cash secured puts I've been selling for the income machine. So Bitcoin is in a bit of a dull market right now, which is not so bad, right? We're getting this nice upward trend, kind of going to go into hitting the bottom of this channel here, and then probably take off from it up to about $100,000 or so. That's what we're looking at right now for Bitcoin. We've seen this before. We've seen this before several times, actually. But one notable point was right in here, right? Come here, we have a double bottom like we just saw now. We came up, and then it started going dull, and then we came in, got one more little mini double bottom, and then went higher, pull back, and then the launch. Kind of like it's a meandering way up, but it was a pretty dramatic, mostly up move out of this space here that gave us a similar sort of start to it, which was about right there, which is what we're looking at now, which is kind of that dull market, which we may see dip. So what do we got right now? We got our double bottom, right? And if you look at the chart, Bitcoin loves double bottoms. It's like one of its favorite patterns. We have one right here, got one right here. We're in one currently right here. And I would not be surprised if we went into one right now and then went much higher from there. So basically, even if we broke out of this, I'd be expecting to come into the 21 or the 50-day moving average. That was what my expectations would be. And then I would expect some sort of bounce out of that, right? So let me go in here, delete that. Okay. So I would be expecting something like that, right? Where we come in, even if we break out of my little channel here, we would come into the 21, somewhere around here, maybe the 50 down here at 88 something, do like a little double bottom, and then continue on, do another leg down a little bit after 100,000, and then carry on from there. Some sort of squiggle of that nature. Right, come down into the 50-day moving average at 88,000, or maybe stopping at 89,000 at the 21-day moving average. Give ourselves a little bottom, followed by another bottom, a leg up to 100, and then a bull flag, and then off we go. We could also be completely vertical, but I'm expecting some kind of games like that. I would also not be super surprised if we hit the bottom of this channel here and then just went up to $200,000. That's also a possibility. So Bitcoin is looking good. It's holding up in this area. It's looking very dull and very boring after an explosive move, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. I'm actually feeling pretty good about it now. Volume is weakening. RSI is holding about the same up here, while BX Trender is also showing weakening momentum. So that's where my theory of the fall down to the 50, double bottom, and take off comes from. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down to about 88, reset some of these oscillators, and then off we go. That would also make a lot of sense. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I'm currently positioned in BitX for the back half of 2025, which is the 2X Bitcoin fund. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. I've also been accumulating my warrants down here between 18 and 20 cents. Not such a bad range here. I've just been sitting there collecting it in there for a little while, and that's about all I've been doing right now. I've also been increasing some of my CipherW holdings as well as Core CW. I've been still watching Mara for the breakout, which is starting to give. It's giving us a bull flag. I'd like to see it go a little higher before I'm interested, but I've been watching that as well. Okay. Excuse me. Anyways, so let's move on to a quick overview of the economic calendar for the day. So ADP employment came down about half of what was expected, so that's not great, but that is good for potentially getting a Fed rate cut. So maybe this is actually good news in disguise. GDP came in at negative 0.3%. So we're halfway to a recession call here. Basically, if Q2 comes in also negative, official recession, they can sit there and pretend like it's not all day, just like they did in 2022, but that's a recession. Anyways, the expectation was plus 0.4%. We came in at minus 0.3%, so that sucks. Business barometer hasn't come in yet. And then we got PCE coming in at 10 a.m., which is going to be in about half an hour. That's really important. important. That's going to be the big market mover for the day, so I wouldn't really be making any moves before that. Okay, now ISM Manufacturing has been hanging out since February 2023, kind of between 50 and 45. So once this breaks above 50 solidly and starts going up, that's, I think, when we start to see really nice rallies out of the ISM. The ISM is a good measure for some of the risk on assets that we like here. Anyways, so I did a cash secured put on AppLovin. All right, AppLovin today opened up down 12%, 12.82%. Why did that happen? I did this 2 days ago, by the way. 2 days ago, I sold it for $1,400, and it came down within not too far, within $10. It went from $288 to within $10 of my strike price, which is $235. Okay, what was it? $235. Yeah, $235 put. Okay. Anyways, why did that happen? I was wrong. And that sucks. If I had a call, I'd be getting absolutely wrecked right now. But I sold a put, so I'm really just fine. I'm not concerned at all actually about this in any way. Anyways, why did that happen? Well, this came out yesterday. Yesterday after market close, a class action lawsuit came out for AppLovin, causing the stock to drop over 12% this morning. That sucks. Let's take a look at this. I should refresh this now that market is open. And how expensive is this? Not actually. It's about the same. Let me take a look at my account real quick. It's on my phone, so you won't see it, but I will report what I see when I open it. And that is brutal. All right. Let's see. It is down $897 this morning. So I sold this put for $1,400 yesterday, and I was up almost $200 before close, and then after close, market dropped. This one dropped, and currently this one is selling for $2,105. So that sucks. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Yeah, I sold it for about $1,400. Currently worth $2,100. I'm in the negative $745 currently on that one right now. But as long as the price stays above $235, I actually don't lose. I don't lose anything. I just make money. So I'm really not too concerned about this at all right now. And in fact, if you were to do one of these, and of course nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever, 12% drop is very dramatic. If you were to sell one of these today, you would need $23,500, but you would get a net credit of over $2,000 for less than 2 weeks of holding. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. Okay. So I'm really not too concerned. Look, prices are even coming up. It's bouncing off of this trend line right here, which with perfection, it's bouncing off that trend line. I'm not too concerned. I can see this thing easily coming back up over the next couple of days because the theta is over $100 a day. So every day that it's burning off $100 of value for me, and I'm just gonna sit there and hold it. So I'm not scared at all of this unless it breaks the bottom of this channel here. I won't get scared. If it breaks the bottom of this channel here, this ascending channel, then I'll start to sweat and I might have to roll. Okay, but I'm not too concerned about that. The other one that I've been doing as of yesterday is Bull. Webull. They have very juicy premiums right now. I'd be happy to hold them at current prices. And I sold a 15 put for June 20th for $510, which is a 33% return in just over a month. 52 days, 33% return. Pretty amazing. Okay, I like that a lot. Basically, as long as the stock does not go beneath $10, I'm still making money. So I'm going to hold that put to expiration no matter what, basically. Unless rolling it looks really good, I'm going to hold it till expiration. Okay, so I got $510 for that. I also sold the 12.5 put. I believe that was also for June. Let me check the date on that real quick. I sold the 12.5 put for May 16th, actually. For May 16th. Let me go over here. May 16th, 12.5 put. That was $137 value right now, which represents a little more than a 10% return for a 2-week hold period. Where else are you making 10% in 2 weeks? Most people are making 10% in a year on their portfolios. So this is actually pretty amazing. I mean, you're making 10% in 2 weeks. That's 20% a month. We're talking about 240% in a year. That's pretty good. I wouldn't put my whole portfolio on this. I put like $5,000 into it to collect that premium, but it is absolutely amazing in terms of juicy premiums. So I'm watching this right now. The current value is $14.43, so it would have to drop nearly $2 to get assigned in 2 weeks, which is a huge move for a small stock. And this one has been doing huge moves, so it's possible. And then for my June 20 puts, it's got over 50 days to move up just under 60 cents, which is also totally possible for this stock. So I really like these premiums right now. If you've got a small account, I would take a look at this and see if it makes sense to learn how to sell a cash secured put. If you got a small account, like let's say you've only got $1,500, you could run this play and make yourself a solid. I mean, even with the $12.50 put for June 20th, it's $315. That is a huge return. That's a sick return. I love that. And you're not even in the money right now. Like 15 would be in the money, 12.50 wouldn't be in the money, and it would still have to drop nearly $2 to have you assigned in 52 days, which in 52 days, this thing could be trading back at $50 again. So I'm really not too concerned about this at all. This thing is a bucking bull right now. It just IPO'd, so it's all over the place, but this one is on my radar in a big way. So yesterday I collected nearly $2,000 in premium, basically between Bull and AppLovin over the last couple of days. I've collected over $2,000 in premium. And I'm going to sit here and hold it, and I'll let you know how it goes going forward. I'll let you know if I roll it and whatever that happens. But basically, for a 2-week hold, for mostly 500 of that will have to be over a 50-day hold. But for 1,500 of it, a 2-week hold, I can collect that in 2 weeks, and that is basically a salary in some places. If I could do that again in 2 weeks and collect another $1,500, we're talking about $3,000 in a month. That is pretty amazing, and we're talking about doing that with an account under $30,000. Wrap your brain around that. Having $30,000 producing $3,000 a month, under $30,000 producing $3,000 a month. That is absolutely like life-changing, honestly, if you're able to consistently find stocks to do that with. So that is why we make these videos for the income machine. These are things you need to know, need to understand, especially in these rough markets. Because look at AppLovin. I set this thing way down. I set it all the way down underneath this big gap right here. Let me draw it. Underneath that big gap, that's where I set my price. And I still collected $1,400 for a 2-week hold on this thing, okay? All the way down there. Do I think it's going to go down there? No, I don't. I don't think it's going to go down there. And you know what I'm going to do if it does go down there? I'm going to roll it. I'm just going to roll it. I will roll it. And what that means is I'm going to close my current position for a loss, which will be a realized loss, and I will open up a new cash secured put at a new strike price and a new date further in the future for the same or more money, probably more money, so that I actually lose nothing. That's what you do when you roll. You move to a further date in the future, and it could be the same strike price or a different strike price. It depends on how the premiums work out, and your goal is to collect whatever you'd be losing or whatever you'd be losing plus some to get a little extra for your time. Sometimes you end up holding a little longer than you wanted to, like with Hood. I did one with Hood a couple weeks ago while on vacation, and Hood kind of dropped a little more than I bargained for, so I had to roll it. I had to roll it out further, so I had to roll it out until July, when initially I was in June. So that happens, and it's not too bad. And Hood is actually looking like it's making something of an inverted head and shoulders right now, something like that. That's possible. We'll see if that comes out to play on Hood. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.